This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Okay, this week we will discuss the land of promise, which has become the land of crisis. And you're aware for the past few weeks of the increasing dismay of our brother Mindanaoans who are facing 10, 12-hour power outages, and probably hundreds of thousands of jobs are being sacrificed as this is going on. In the year 2012, April, there was a power summit, electricity power summit in Mindanao, and B.S. Aquino attended it and made a speech and promised that solutions were on the way to the power crisis. But again, 2 years later, we hear these howls of pain and protests from Mindanao. At the same time, this is momentarily swept under this issue of the Muslim autonomy, independence, and these related issues. The question of justice for Muslim Mindanao. Of course, we have seen the controversy over the comprehensive agreement on Bangsamoro. We have another guest to discuss this with us. But other than the CAB or CAB, we also have the refugee crisis in Zamboanga. Thousands of refugees, 100 dead already among the refugees, and other unseemly results of this uncared for refugees that are who are languishing in Zamboanga. So we have two guests. Our former governor of Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Governor Al-Marim Senti Tila, President of the Parhimpunan Sin Islam, and Wazir of the Sultan of Sulu. He'll explain later on. And of course, our regular guests when it comes to electricity and power issues, for the past 4 years already, Mr. Jojo Bora, who is not only concerned with the ongoing crisis of electricity in Mindanao, but also the national issue of the highest power rates in Asia of Meralco, and the continuing shenanigans at the Energy Regulatory Commission. And by the way, congratulations, Jojo. Your criticisms against Dukot is not only about electricity now. Dukot is in the pork barrel Napoles list. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Governor, let's greet your people here. And I understand GNN is very well followed in Mindanao.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all our Muslim brothers in the south, and also peace be with our Christian brethren in Mindanao.
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned Wazir. What is Wazir of the Sultan of Sulu?
Well, I was just appointed by Sultan Ismail Kiram, the reigning Sultan now of Sulu and North Borneo, as the Wazir. That's actually equivalent to like Prime Minister coordinating the entire executive functions of the Sultanate.
And who's the spokesman now?
Still Abraham Ijirani.
Ijirani. Okay. So we'll start off with the issue of power in Mindanao, because that's the raging controversy. I also have an item here from the cooperatives, electric cooperatives of Mindanao, saying that it's not their fault. It's the fault of EPIRA, on the Mindanao power shortage. But you have better insight. We've seen in 2012, 2013.
Yes.
You had a picture in 2012 where Napocor was throwing water away from the Mariac.
2013.
That was
as witness.
2013.
Yes.
And just before we started the discussion, you were saying the crisis now, power crisis in Mindanao, is because of these repairs of Stayag and Agus 6. In 2012, Agus 4 was repaired.
Yes.
And it only cost 7 million, 7.5 million pesos to fix it. It increased the production of power of Agus 4 from 140 megawatt to 240 megawatt.
Yes.
For just 7 million pesos.
Yeah, but
now, update us on what is going on today.
let's make it clear. The power crisis, the brownouts of 2012 was not because there was no power. There was power. But the 33 cooperatives of Mindanao choose not to buy power from the Aboitises Terma Marine because it was just too expensive, and to use the power, they had to sign long-term contracts.
Which would commit them to
Which would commit them to keep on paying these rates even if they were not going to be used. So that also, because it was too expensive, the cooperatives choose their one sack of rice, which was the difference between paying the electricity bill or paying one sack of rice. They choose the one sack of rice and paying the electricity bill. That's why, to the embarrassment of the Almendras, Secretary Almendras, who thought that in Mindanao, bahala na kung mahal, bilhin. No, in Mindanao it's different. If it is too expensive, people just put off their lights and choose the rice. Okay. In 2013, there were again brownouts in 2013. That's why I have here a picture. That's why proof that while there were brownouts going on in the entire island of Mindanao, National Power was throwing water to the sea. I was there. I witnessed it.
and you took pictures of it.
I took pictures of it. And it does not have to be dated because I was a candidate for congressman at
Let
the
me
time.
hold it. Let me hold this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So,
Unan nga natin ito. Ito. Okay. Sinadya.
that is the Agus 6 hydroelectric plant downstream. But when you see the head of Marikina Falls, it just means that it was diverted. The water was diverted from going into the turbines. It was diverted out and thrown to the sea. That is 200 megawatts. And the start of the brownout of Mindanao in 2012 was a measly 55 megawatts.
That's right.
Okay? And in 2013, nag-brownout na naman. When I passed the bridge overlooking Agus 6, the hydroelectric power plant, I was surprised because I just came from Iligan and there were brownouts in Iligan. So I called the utility company, which I am one part owner of, and I asked the in charge, why are we having brownouts? What is the official reason given by NGCPI? The official reason was water conservation.
We're talking about now or
In 2013.
2013?
April.
Okay, April.
So, water, how can it be water conservation when they were throwing out the water?
That's right.
Now, 2014, May. Why is there brownouts again in Mindanao? One of the reasons is the simultaneous shutdown of the Stayag power plant.
Can you explain Stayag? What does that mean?
Stayag is the coal-fired power plant in Villanueva, Misamis Oriental.
And Stayag is the
200 megawatts.
is the brand of the equipment or
the corporation that owns
the corporation.
it.
Stayag.
It's a German firm.
You know how
Stayag.
many megawatts is supposed to...
That's 200 megawatts.
Okay.
Ma-shut down sila. Agus 6, shut down din. The purpose of the shutdown was there are leaks in the tubes bringing the water down to the turbines. leaking. So most probably they're welding it or fixing it. But my reason is why you shut the plant down for almost 11 months because there was too much water in Mindanao. Why did you not repair the turbines at that time? Why do you have to wait now that there is a scarcity of rain? But now, by the way, it's been raining already. So people in Mindanao, don't be mind conditioned by these people who want to grab the entire, who want to privatize Mindanao. They are conditioning your minds to agree already to all this expensive or the building up of signing of contracts because this is very temporary and it is man-made. It is not because there was not water, because the Department of Energy purposely, I think, is sabotaging the interest of the people in Mindanao when it comes to electricity.
Well, again, you brought up a situation that reminds me of the December-January inordinate increase in rates because Meralco said Malampaya is under repair.
Yes.
And it turns
Simultaneous.
out simultaneous, Malampaya and several other power plants, which is now admitted was because of collusion.
Yes.
It is now admitted. So collusion happens. Let's make that very clear. Collusion happens, and it smells collusion again in Mindanao right now because why repair August 6 now when you could have repaired before?
Yes.
Why repair Stayag now when you could have repaired it before summer?
Yeah. At least August 6. The hydroelectric power plant in Iligan, which is just a stone throw from our place, so we can check immediately. And by the way,
why do they always break down? Another way of putting it, the coal-fired plant and the Malampaya and so on, they always break down at a time where either demand is so high or they can claim water is so low.
They seem to break down during summer, but during the December months when it rains and you know they're okay, but they're throwing water at the time. So sila shut down nila kasi sobrang tubig, tinatapon na yung tubig, pero dapat inayos nila ang planta at that time. They had 11 months to fix.
But
August
also,
6.
it's also always connected to the history of the power situation.
Yes.
When Napocor was forced by EPIRA to sell all its power barges.
And to stop making power plants.
So, do you have any insight into why the government seems to be pushing coal-fired plant and not more hydroelectric and so on?
Because they bungled it up. They stopped EPIRA stopped the national power from developing the hydroelectric power plants. By the way, there is still available for the hydroelectric plants in Mindanao about 2,700 megawatts.
So that's good for at least 10-20 years.
Another 100 years, maybe another 50 years. Kung na-develop lang yan, Mindanao will be the power will be cheap and industries will be going up in Mindanao for the benefit of the entire country. But because of this monster law, this EPIRA, the hands of the government are tied. They cannot expand because expansion or total control of the power industry is reserved for big businessmen who will make billions and billions of pesos at the expense of the interests of the poor consumer.
Before we run out of time for the first part, you also have new discoveries of what ERC is doing.
Yes.
So please bring it up.
You know, the recent WESM scandal.
Wholesale electricity spot market. That recent one you're referring to is December, January.
Market collusion. There was a spike of 4 pesos and 71 centavos per kilowatt hour, total of which is about 10 billion pesos. 10 billion to the pockets of these business
in
people.
1 month.
In 1 month only.
In 1 month.
they caught with such a big spike of 471, 4 pesos, 71 pesos. Immediately, there was an outcry. There was no need for documents to prove that there was something wrong. Just the mere fact of the increase of 471 broke the camel's back. And the Supreme Court acted immediately na TRO yun, pagkatapos permanent ang TRO. Okay. Now, they're coming to avoid that kind of situation. ERC, I'm sure this has been instigated by Meralco or the big guys in the power industry, is passing a resolution. It does not have a number yet, a series of 2014. The main purpose of the resolution, a resolution amending Articles 2 and 3 of the rules governing the automatic cost adjustment and true-up mechanisms and corresponding confirmation process for distribution utilities. In short, ang ibig sabihin nito na inaamenda ng ERC ang batas sa paghingi ng clearance ng isang kumpanya kagaya sa Meralco pag merong increase. Okay. Yung increase na 4.71, yun ay nabisto sila kasi masyadong malaki. Ang ibig sabihin nito na for as long as the increase is not more than 75 centavos per kilowatt hour, hindi na kailangan mag-clearance, automatic billing na.
Yung Meralco o anumang kumpanya, pwedeng ilagay na doon sa billing.
Meaning to say, kung nangyari na naman yan, na sa isang buwan, may spike na 471, ang gagawin lang nila ay i-chap-chapin lang nila yung bill nila at saka dahan-dahan lang. Because they can always manipulate it.
So, ang mangyayari, automatic, basta 75 centavos,
bayad
sige,
na.
ipasok ka agad.
Pasok na.
Hindi mapapansin ng tao because they will charge it over 10 months.
maybe,
maybe, or
6
12
months. Plus interest yan.
Tapos
Okay?
sa susunod na buwan, another 75 centavos.
They will just, automatic yung sinasabi nila, when it is automatic, but you still have to get the clearance, it is provisional. But ito, ang mangyayari dito, nabayad na lahat, pagkatapos magrereklamo yung consumer, sasabihin ng Meralco, you file a case. Ano ang filing fee? Like 10 billion pesos. Ang laki. Impossible, hindi mo na makuha. So they will just be saying, sorry, it's smooth and academic.
Okay. So, Jojo, we have to drum this up again, ano?
Yeah.
And sige, we'll take care of that. But are you under the impression that all these are manipulated? Because I am under that impression.
Yeah, I asked ERC point blank. Who requested for the amendment?
Ano
Was
sabi?
it coming from ERC or was it a request from Meralco? They could not answer me because, of course, it is Meralco. How can it come from them? Para bang...
At saka, you have been in the power business for 3 generations.
Yes,
your family,
yes.
you know everything about
Yes.
it. Hindi ba before, bago mag-increase, katakot-takot ang
Takot.
hearings, application, pahihirapan kayo. Ngayon lahat, ibinibigay sa Meralco, Alcantara, Lopez, etc. O sige, magtaas kayo. Hahanap tayo ng paraan na mailusot yan. Hindi nakalusot nung December, January.
Yes. Yan
Pero-
ang mangyayari talaga. When IPIRA was passed, me as a businessman, owning a utility company, yung pumasa na yung IPIRA at saka na-implementa na yung sistema na performance-based rate.
We'll continue with that after this break. Okay, and then we also discuss